welcome to Business Over a Brew, the show where we talk business with some of the Riverbend's most interesting and influential business leaders. Today, we'll talk to Alton Regional Convention and Visitors Bureau President Brett Stawar. Brett will tell us about some of the biggest challenges he's faced since taking the position over a decade ago and some of the exciting changes going on in our region. So let's get to it. It's the Business Over a Brew podcast from Germania Brewhouse. All right, welcome to Business Over a Brew from our new location at Germania Brewhouse, and our first guest at our new location is Brett Stawar, President of the Convention and Visitors Bureau here, and a birthday boy.
That's right. Thank you.
Happy birthday to you, and thanks for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
It's great to be here. It's great to be another year older and all that stuff.
Tell us a little bit about your position with the Convention and Visitors Bureau. Just a kind of an overview of what it is that you do.
Well, our primary purpose is to bring in new people to the area. So we're throwing that net out to find them. Whether they're in Ohio or Chicago or St. Louis or even within the Metro East, we want to bring people into this community to experience all the great things we have. And ways we do that is to bundle all the good things together into one product. We've got some great restaurants, standalone restaurants. We've got some great attractions, but when we can tie it all together, it really works well. We can throw that net out, bring those new dollars in to help support our communities and our quality of life.
And you're, of course, from the area. Talk a little bit about the path. How does one get to be the president of the Convention and Visitors Bureau?
Well, it's been a wonderful path, a career, marketing background. Mm-hmm. So started out, of course, an Alton High graduate. Won't tell you the year, but it's been some time ago. And then went on to Illinois State University. Got my undergrad in PR. They actually offer a degree in public relations, and then went on to the workforce. Actually, in St. Louis, worked in PR firms over there. Kind of figured out I wanted to come back home and work in the community where I lived. So came back to find a job at United Way. Worked as their communications director and got to know a whole lot of people in the area. After that, I went to have our firstborn, and went to a law firm to work over in St. Louis, a pretty big one, Brian Cave. Worked for them for a while, but wanted to come back. And so an opening opened up with Riverbend Head Start and Family Services. So I helped them create a PR position for the company, mm-hmm. and that led to then this opening at the Convention and Visitor Bureau. And all along, I always was in touch with the previous director and ways I could help out, because it was something that I just wanted to do. So when the job opened up, applied for it, and it's been wonderful ever since. 14 years ago, in fact. Started the journey here on Columbus Day and set sail on a thing that really transformed what I consider the Convention and Visitor Bureau in this community. Right.
Take us back to those first years. What was the biggest surprise for you? Obviously, you knew the organization and kind of the work they did, but until you really get in the seat, sometimes you don't understand some of the complexities and challenges of the job. What was the biggest surprise for you when you took over?
Yeah, everyone thinks marketing is easy. Everyone thinks, I can do that, or I want to do that. So when you jump in, really a lot of the things we had to start from scratch. Where we were with our organization, we were kind of at a low point in our organization's history. We were living paycheck to paycheck, if you will. We had no payroll was always a challenge to meet, so mm-hmm. I didn't know these things coming in and these challenges, and we worked together to build relations with our municipalities, with Alton, to get everything back in shape, get the trust of our partners again, and really build the momentum going. And from that time, we've just grown and done wonderful things for our communities. Won lots of awards, marketing excellence awards. I think 23 of them in the past 12 years or 13 years have been awarded to our bureau, and that really goes to the dedication of our staff. So we built up a great crew of people that almost never leave us. When they do have to leave because mm-hmm. of family circumstances or they want to retire, they don't ever leave us. They're still a part of our family.
And this area has really undergone quite a few changes in the 14 years. It's just really kind of a transformation. Talk a little bit about that and just how the area has changed since you've been in the seat.
Absolutely. It's changed dramatically. When I started, downtown was at a low point. All of our antique shops, most of them had kind of closed up. We still have a good concentration, but it wasn't the 80s heyday of antique store after antique store. And we really saw a transformation begin with things like Bossa Nova opening up on 3rd Street, Shea Maryland opening, some of those things that started to pop up 14, 15 years ago at this point. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you what, when I first started working at the Bureau to what the city looks like now, it's a major rebrand and rebirth. even things like the islands, the plantings, the tree, the beautification efforts.
Right.
Look at Riverfront Park. I mean, it was not finished yet, and the amphitheater that sits there now is gracing our stage for the riverfront, and the marina's in full capacity, and our casino is still downtown at the riverfront. So a lot of good things are working in our favor. A lot of wonderful things. There are trials and tribulations. We
Sure.
get smacked with those floods every few years that knock us back a little bit. We're our own worst enemies, our own worst critics. So everybody will say, "Oh, aren't we worse than we've ever been?" I said, "No, you don't know where we've been,"
Right.
and then we made quite some accomplishment. And I give that credit to administration after administration of this city and the people within it.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more from Brett Stawar, but first we want to hear from Ben from Germania Brewhouse. He's going to tell us about a few samples available here.
All right, fellas.
All right, it's Ben Barnelson from Germania Brewhouse. You have some samples for us? What do you have today?
Yes, sir. Yeah, so I'll give you the rundown here. This first one, the Salted Caramel Pecan from 4204. They recently did a mass distribution of this beer this year because it was so popular last year on a small batch. And it's good, and you'll understand why when you taste it. This one right here is a blueberry maple stout from Saugatuck Brewing in Michigan. It's basically like you're eating blueberry pancakes with maple syrup on top. So it's fantastic. This one's a coffee stout from Schlafly. They've always done a really good job with the coffee stouts. This particular one is made with Caldi's coffee in St. Louis, and so it's super fantastic. And this one right here is actually the pear cider that we have in tap. No, thank you.
I'll take the coffee one. I'm a coffee guy,
Alright,
so I'll
there
try
you
this
go.
one.
All right, enjoy.
That's good. Welcome back to Business Over Brew from our new location here at Germania Brewhouse. Thanks to Ben for sharing some samples with us, and we talk more with Convention and Visitors Bureau President Brett Stawar, and we talk a little bit about. I think it's kind of an inferiority complex a little bit that our area has, as you were just talking about. We have so many great things, and I just talk about. I've been all over the country, and still one of the prettiest drives you'll ever go on is right up the River Road.
Absolutely. Some of the people on our Facebook pages and social media channels are former residents that moved away, and it's their only touch back with this community. And they just, they yearn for the days when they can make those drives, or didn't appreciate what was in their own backyard until they leave us and move away. So it is a really special place. We definitely believe it's the best stretch of the River Road on the entire Mississippi River. And, we're starting to see that pendulum shift. I think our civic pride, is starting to go back up. We are realizing now a lot of help with that hashtag My Alton and the Small Business Revolution campaign has really energized the people of Alton. And I think we're at that turning point. It's all going to be up from here.
You've been an integral part of the Small Business Revolution contest and the hashtag My Alton. And I think win or lose the contest, it's just been a great thing to see how the community has come together and rallied for a cause. And I think no matter what happens now, it's raised a lot of awareness of what really is turning into a thriving business community here.
Absolutely. And there's no reason we shouldn't win. If we don't win, it's because we're too good. When we had them here and gave them the tour, every business they went into, they almost fell in love with. We saw their jaws drop multiple times when they walked into places and couldn't believe what they were walking into, and the spirit, the entrepreneurial spirit we had in here. But yet the struggles. They could see the small business owners struggling to make ends meet and to get off of those first few years in business. So we're hopeful, that we find out we make it. If we don't, it's just another chapter in our book that we can continue to move forward on. This will be a launching pad, whether we win or lose, to do the next biggest and best thing.
Obviously, you're headquartered here in Alton, but quite a bit of expansion lately for the Convention and Visitors Bureau as well.
Right. We've been working with the rest of Madison County to get them on board and work as a whole county. So we serve Jersey, all of Jersey County, all of Calhoun County, and the traditional River Bend area previously. That's where we've been since we were founded back in 85 or 86. Since that point, we've kind of wanted to work more with the university, SAUE, get more involved with them, as well as the growing destination in Edwardsville, Glen Carbon, and now Collinsville. So all of those communities have joined forces with us to work together in a collaborative spirit to grow tourism for them individually, but also collectively as a county. So we're very excited to what the future may hold for us here as a tourism destination, working together with convention centers, in Collinsville, universities in Edwardsville, and the Great River Road and Route 66, only place in America where they meet is right here.
All right. Talk a little bit about just some of the thriving community and all the new businesses that are opening up, and you guys are certainly a part of that as well.
Right. We have a lot of great new businesses opening up, and year after year, it seems like we're losing less of them, and it's more staying open, sustaining, having great shops. Our restaurant industry has exploded in the past 3 years. We like to think it's because of Restaurant Week, but I'm sure it has more to do than that. But since we're in the
That's
middle,
a part of it.
It is right now. We tried to go out to eat today. This is during Restaurant Week, and we went out, and some of them were very crowded. Like so crowded, we had to go to another one, which was great. We were happy to give up our seats to somebody else to enjoy.
Great.
So a great, thriving foodie scene, and our foodie scene is real, and that's some of the difference. You can go to Chicago suburbs and other places and see a lot of chain restaurants pop up. Not saying we wouldn't support chains or like them, but we like that hometown flair. What makes us different is a destination. So when people come here, they don't want to go to the chains, or they don't want to go to the ones. There are a lot of them popping up in multi-cities too. That may be in O'Fallon and Clayton and Springfield. So they have 3 or 4 locations. A lot of ours are single-family owned, operated businesses that are one of a kind and have great traditions. Some have been around for 75 plus years. Others have just started, but a lot of great foodie flair.
I'm giving you a magic wand for the day. There's one improvement you can make to the Riverbend community. What would it be?
Riverfront Hotel with Convention Center and Tiki Bar on top.
You maybe have been asked that question before. It sounds like
we gotta have a place for them to stay downtown. Whether that's a boutique hotel or a nice, well done riverfront hotel, we've got to have those 400 to 500 people staying at a riverfront every night to support our downtown businesses.
Right, and I just came back from a convention across the river, and just thinking about all the business that came with that convention. If we had something like that, I really think it would take the community to another level in terms of the economic development of it.
And we use the word convention center loosely. We're really looking at conference center.
Sure,
we want
right.
4 or 5 rooms where we can hold association meetings. Like your radio associations
Right, yes.
can come down here and hold their meetings.
We'll be first in line.
I know you've been talking about that for years, and we just want to see that happen for downtown Alton because it's the final piece of the puzzle that will create greatness here.
Well, Brett, happy birthday, first of all, and
Thank you.
thanks for joining us on Business Over Brew. Appreciate it.
Cheers. Thank you. Have a good time.
Well, that's it for this edition of Business Over a Brew. Thanks to our sponsors, Germania Brewhouse, and our guest, Alton Regional Convention and Visitors Bureau President Brett Stawar. I'm your host, Nick Darr. Tune in next time for more video of me drinking free beer with some of the Riverbend's most interesting and influential business leaders.